Welcome to this super exciting episode of the Leading Edge Conversations podcast. My name's Luke, and today I am interviewing Goldie Sun. Oh,
Hi, Luke. Thank you for having me. Namaste.
namaste. Goldie is an amazing, superhuman, high tantric priestess. She is the founder of the Magical 5D Society, the Magical Life Academy. She runs tantric retreats all over the world and has now birthed this incredible conscious community project called Lumina Casa, which we're going to talk about how we can build and co-create conscious communities all around the world. Goldie, welcome. Thank you for
Oh,
joining us.
thank you so much
And
for having me,
th-
Luke.
thank you for being brave enough to do all of this stuff as well. I'm an entrepreneur as well, for anyone who follows my story. You'll know birthing a new project is a brave thing to do. And we get these visions, these that come from wherever you believe they come from, and it's a real labor of love, isn't it, to make them happen? And you've done it. You birthed it, so well done.
I've done it, and now we've got a gigantic global baby on our hands.
Yeah. And the vision for the Lumina Casa project is to have 55 conscious communities all over the world in the next 5 years, where people can live together, play together, work together, create together, enjoy life together. Do you want to tell people a little bit about what you've been building, Goldie?
You are tuned in to the Leading Edge Conversations podcast. We're about to dive deep, so strap yourself in and get ready to explore the leading edge of consciousness.
Well, yes. So the vision for Lumina Casa came about because we needed a home for the magical love community. So originally I founded an organization called the Magical Life Academy, which is a global collective of magical masters at life who are yogis and tantrics and medicine beings and quantum geometrists and people who are grounding like next generation awareness into Earth system. So I established an organization and a platform for those people to be able to come together and be heard and be seen and to be edified. So we could all kind of confirm each other's awareness, because this knowledge has been mainly kept secret for a really long time and has been hidden. And now it's beginning to emerge again from the ether. And it's really important that those amongst us who are rebirthing this awareness into Earth's atmosphere can live together and co-create together in community. So the reason why I originally visioned Lumina Casa was to give our magical love community a home. And that is still the case. So yeah, Lumina, it means Casa. Lumina, it means to enlighten. Yeah, so to bring light to. And Casa, it means home. And the home that we're talking about is the home that's inside every one of us. So it's not something external to ourselves, it's actually home within our own hearts, within our own being. And coming back to the awareness of the truth of who we really are and our real soul purpose and why we really came here to Earth and what we're really intended to do. Now, the big challenge, as you know, Luke, is that most people have been programmed with what I like to call blah, blah, human blah, blah about these things they're supposed to be doing. I was supposed to be a lawyer and a businesswoman, and I got programmed with this, and it completely distracted me from my true purpose. So it's very important that we establish safe spaces. We're calling it sanctuaries for our people to join together in community and be able to actually take the space and receive the light and the support to realize what it is they're really supposed to be doing. Yeah, the tantrics call it self-realization in this lifetime. It's actually the advanced path of the Tibetan Tantra that we are sharing in our community. And yeah, it allows everybody to come together and to realize who they really are, what they're really supposed to be doing, and to join us in joy. So I'm super excited that the first actual grounded version of our community system is happening here as a residency this summer. Here is Koh Phangan in Thailand. It's beautiful here. It's a magical island built on rose quartz crystal, where there's a huge conscious community, many magical masters, many people working in the emerging consciousness space, a lot of tantrics, a lot of yogis, a lot of fantastic medicine beings are here. And we'll be opening in a beautiful, luxurious, it's like a ranch style property with 3 villas interconnected, swimming pools, saltwater swimming pools in the middle of the jungle. It's amazing. I'm so grateful that we've been sent this property. And yeah, we'll be there from the 6th of May to the 11th of July. And we'll be receiving teachings from some of the world's most luminous conscious minds in the fields of sacred and atomic geometry, unlocking the geocodes of creation from my dear friend and partner and business co-creatrix, Dr. Heike Bellick. And Shachindra will be joining us to offer his incredible next generation Web3 technology awareness. There will be me, and I'm trusting that you also are joining us, Luke, to share your incredible knowledge. There'll be a whole host of magical masters who will be living at the property, and we are super excited that for the first time now, we are open to inviting people from outside our immediate circle to join us. So yeah, we are aware that there are people out there who have got the grounded earth resources and networks and experience that we need to be able to move forward now in our mission. Yeah. So we've got the blueprint for the creation of our system, and we've practiced it living in conscious community together in India for the past 7 years, which has been very extraordinary and interesting. And now we're going to put that into practice here in Koh Phangan and create a blueprint which is easy to replicate throughout the rest of the world. Yeah. And our vision and our projections, 55 Lumina Casas throughout the globe in areas where consciousness is rising within the next 5 years, which sounds extremely ambitious, but when it's put into context that our project is not only a real world project, it's also a Web3 creation. So it's the next evolution of the blockchain technology. It's called a DAO. It's a decentralized autonomous organization. And we are aware that the beings, the people, the lovely humans who are intending to join us and to help us to grow the community already know what they're supposed to be doing. They've just been waiting for the call. They've just been waiting for the divine timing. And yeah, I would like to share that the great news is that the time, as they say, is now. And we're super excited to welcome everybody to come and join us. Enjoy as we co-create the real evolution.
So if you've been waiting for a sign, everyone, this is it. Like, let's go. So just to recap, because there's a lot of good stuff there. So if you would like to live in a beautiful conscious community in Koh Phangan in Thailand, you can go and do that at the Lumina Casa from the 6th of May for 66 days this summer. So go to the website is www.luminacasa.co, LUMINACASA.co, and you can go and see all the infos there, how to apply. If you want to be a part of the project as well, there's all the information there. If you want to be an investor, if you want to contribute anything, whatever wisdom, knowledge, tools, finances, whatever you have that you can contribute. And Goldie, I was pumped to be a part of this project because I've been building conscious communities in person and online for years now. And it's been so challenging to get the right people together who are serious and can live together harmoniously, because you need to have done a certain amount of inner work, right, to be able to be in a conscious community. And I think this is the next level for the world. I live in England, and most people here, we don't even talk to our neighbors. Like, there is almost no community, let alone a conscious one. And wherever I go, it's really interesting because I'm the first person when I move somewhere to go and knock on the doors and say hi to the neighbors. And I start a WhatsApp group. I have one here where I am now. I started a WhatsApp group and I go and put all our neighbors in it. And I say, if you need anything, just let me know. And
Oh.
it's like, it's just something we, it's so important to me, but it's not a part of our culture. And then you go to other places, like you said, India, right? And they live in community a lot more. My wife's from Pakistan, and community is a huge part of what they do. And especially when you have children, I have two young children, like raising your children with a community around, with a tribe around. They say it takes a village. So different than being a single parent or even in a couple in England, and you're kind of all on your own. There's no support, no help. So we are fully on board with creating these all around the world, and it has been on my vision board for a long time.
Mm.
Let us know in the chat, in the comments, if you would like to be a part of conscious communities. Maybe just put the word conscious community below. We'll drop you a message. We'll send you the link as well if you're interested. And come and be a part of this one or one of the others that are going to be all over the place. And Goldie, one of the things I know that is really cool about you, like me, bridge the gap between
Mm.
the 3D and the 5D, or are we on 12D now? I don't know what D you're up to. And sit really well, like in the one foot in the spiritual world, one foot in the entrepreneurial world. You can kind of be there with both, which I think is a great skill set to have, because you used to be very financially successful, like conventional 3D success, right? And then you
Mm.
renounced everything, went to live in a monastery in Burma. Do you want to tell people a little bit about your story and who Goldie is?
Yes, okay. Oh, yes. Well, I should start by saying that my original name was not Goldie. That's an evolution right there in itself. Like most people who've experienced radical transformation in their lives, my name has also changed. So yeah, maybe I'll tease and reveal what my transformation of names has been, but I will share a little bit about what I experienced. I used to live in London. I trained to be a lawyer at university. I went to law school at some of the world's best institutions in Nottingham and got a scholarship to go to law school in Singapore. And my trajectory seemed very clear. I was going to be, a fantastic global international lawyer and be very successful and all of those usual 3D trappings. And then yeah, the universe had something entirely different in store for me. I came to India. Well, I came to Koh Phangan the first time in 1999 when I'd finished university law school in Singapore. And I found this, wow, amazing island. And I was just like, wow, this place is incredible. I want to live here. So basically, I did everything I could to keep coming back here every year. And I feel like that definitely had some assistance with the activation of the blueprint of my evolution, because this place here, magical Koh Phangan, it's really very magical place. People who come to this place, just being here, it facilitates the opportunity for radical healing and transformation. But then when 2004 came and I got called to India and I had to go over to India, and then I was traveling around India and I felt like I was going to be there forever and I was never going to leave. But then in 2004, four, I met the love of my life, and the divine union that we experienced together. We didn't know what it was. We had no experience, and we were so shiny and so bright. As you know, when you're very shiny and bright, all the darkness comes to try and seek you out and take you down. And that's what we experienced. And I got driven off the side of a cliff in a car, and the car flipped like 5 times down the side of the mountain. And yeah, I ended up with my middle finger was severed off and my hand was completely, all the skin was gone. They rebuilt it, and amazing doctors, thank you, refixed it and made it better. But I ended up going back to England instead of continuing my India journey at that time. And hilariously nearly bought an apartment in London. This is a story for after, but I hilariously nearly bought an apartment in London, which is 128 City Road, London, right? Remember this, it's important. So I was back in England after having some crazy awakening experiences in Singapore and Koh Phangan and India. And then I'm in England and I'm like, oh, crikey, I'm going to have to make some money. So I end up working in the media industry. And I'll cut a long story short, I became very successful. I was very good at media because it just involved having a good time, enjoying myself and socializing and entertaining. And I became the global strategy director of one company, and then the business associate of another big global media agency. And then finally the business director of one of the biggest agencies on the world, you know? So I got a lot of experience in the business world over nearly 13 years living in central London and working in the media business. I was working in big teams, global corporate. It was a very useful education for sure. Yeah, very useful experience for what I'm doing now. Thank you. Thank you. At the time, I was like, why am I doing this? But now it's all becoming clear. And then in 2016, I started experiencing, well, actually it started before that. It started 2015, 2016. Yeah. I started experiencing very, very severe anxiety. Now, this came from nowhere. I was like super, very confident public speaker, running big meetings, talking in front of hundreds of people, no problem. And then I started getting really, really bad anxiety and I couldn't function. And then I started getting panic attacks in like really big high level meetings with the CEO and, of other organizations. And I literally couldn't work anymore. It was not helpful, I have to say. And I went to see a psychologist and a psychiatrist and all of the psycho people. And they were just like, we don't know what's wrong with you. And honestly, I had no idea what was wrong with me because according to me, I had a great life. According to me, I had great friends, a great job, I had plenty of money, a beautiful house, like everything was brilliant. And then this. Anywho, eventually my beloved company had to let me go because I literally couldn't function. So they let me go. And that was a really, really, really relieving day that happened. Because I remember walked out the office and I was just like, oh, and I just felt so relieved and so light. And of course they gave me money. And I just realized that was going to be the first day of my real life. And it was. And then the next morning, my friends were running a thing called Morning Gloryville. I don't know if you've heard of it, the ecstatic rave.
Yeah.
It's quite big in England. Yeah, Morning Gloryville. So it's for people that don't know, it's like a ecstatic dance, we call it here, or ecstatic rave. And basically it's like going to a full-on nightclub, but there's no drugs, there's no alcohol, there's no smoking, there's no shoes, there's no phone, there's no talking. It's a meditation, yeah, it's an active meditation. And we get high on our own supply. We get high on the vibration of the frequency of the music. We get high on the vibration of the frequency of the collective. And the point is to get into this ecstatic movement where we can all achieve very expanded levels of bliss. And wow, it's incredible. So my friends had been running this and I'd never been because I'd just been at work because it was in the morning on a weekday and I could never go. And the next morning I went and I became the Conscious Warrior 333. And there's a photo of me and I'm like, I don't know what this place is. Why is nobody drinking? Where's my beer? But I did it and I was like, okay. And I remember standing there and I was like, I don't know what's happening here. This is so weird, but I know this is my job. And then somebody hands me a cacao ball and I'm like, oh, what is this? And I don't know what cacao is. I don't know anything. Right? So funny. And then I just started experiencing some increasingly bizarre experiences. And conscious and spiritual awakening is something which is very personal to oneself. But my journey has been, quite a long and gradual-ish path. I'd become vegan in 2014, didn't really know why. No idea, in fact, just became vegan overnight. My hair had fallen out. It had shattered my self-perception of myself. And I tried to leave before, I nearly got married, then had to cancel my wedding because I found out my fiance was lying to me, and had to cancel my moving into a different country and all these things. So I'd experienced the collapse of the self system a few times. It's it's a process because the ego is something which will not will not transform easily if it's not given the opportunity to do so. Yeah. So my conscious and spiritual awakening to my true self was extremely tumultuous and terrifying, and ended up with me finally giving away everything I owned. Yeah, all of my money, my shoes, my clothes, my handbags, my jewelry, all my possessions. Basically, I used to go out handing them out to people who I felt needed them. And then sometimes they would come back to me, like when I gave all my clothes to a charity in London, and then went to the south coast to Brighton, no, not Brighton, Hastings, next to Brighton, and went in the charity shop across the road from my friend's house, and it was full of the clothes that I'd contributed to charity in London. They were my clothes, and they all came back to me. You know, it's really, really challenging to exit the matrix system program and the energetic entanglement which is present in that system, in that paradigm. Yeah. So for those of the viewers here who are aware of these things about the matrix, about energetic entanglement, about the path out of the existing paradigm system, which we like to call 3D or 4D, and the potential now to enter into next dimensional awareness consciousness, which we like to call 5D or extra dimensional awareness, which is the system known as heaven on earth. You might know about heaven on earth, or Shambhala, which according to tantric law, and according to me, more importantly, it's the end of the Kala chakra. So it's the space that exists at the end of the Kala chakra. The Kala chakra is the wheel of time. And some people may be pleased to hear, some people may not be so pleased to hear, that we have now entered the end of the Kala chakra, so that we are now entering the period known as the end of time. But don't worry, because the end of time is the beginning of reality. So we're not actually losing anything. We're not dying. Nobody's dying. The world is not ending. The truth is that the world is actually beginning now. We are now entering the golden age of peace and joy and prosperity for all beings. And we are now invited to actually exit the controlling system that most people are living in, and to enter limitless potential, boundlessness, the emanation of the 35th gene key, which is what I finally realized I had experienced on the 6th of August 2017, when my entire body system came into alignment and it felt like the top of my head came off. And I achieved some kind of unity consciousness and was shown all of creation. The realization of the 35th gene key within my body system structure. So when I renounced all of my worldly possessions and went to live in the monastery in Burma, it was to be able to take some space to integrate all of the awareness that I had been presented with and that was running through my system. Because, you know, as a London party girl working in the media industry, to come from that kind of experience to this thing was quite a stretch. But I was always a massive, you know, adrenaline junkie and thrill seeker. And for me, the Buddhists call what I experienced radical, spontaneous stage 3 enlightenment. And honestly, that was really what I experienced. That was really what I experienced. It was really radical and really spontaneous. And yeah, I haven't experienced stage 4 yet. For that, we need to be together in a community with other people who are in a similar frequency. And honestly speaking, Luke, you did tell me before we started this call that I would be able to speak freely about the truth about what we're doing for your audience.
Absolutely.
Yeah?
Share
okay.
anything.
Yeah, okay. So the real purpose behind our organization, behind Lumina Casa, is to create a living synthesis of real world modern temples. It's not just temple frequency, I like to call it cosmic llama. It's like a llama. The Tibetan high lamas would live in community, and they would have access to the most esoteric and advanced spiritual knowledge. but rather than being nuns and monks and having to live in celibacy and isolation, because who wants that, you know? Nuns and monks do, I'm sure, but you know, I don't know about you. I don't want to live in celibacy and isolation. I want to live in love and joy and community. But those amongst us who are intending to ground the light body into the system will be congregating at the Lumina Casa properties globally, and will be actually creating a network of nodes, which will then allow us to facilitate the establishment of the network grids emanation. So that we'll be connecting the network grid across Earth's atmosphere and grounding light body into Earth's atmosphere through our body vehicles, which of course are the Earth's central nervous system. So we are actually putting a call out to the luminary visionary geniuses and those of us on Earth who are with the awareness of the project of what we're actually really doing, which is grounding light body. So those llamas who are online and ready for action, and those cosmic woo-woos with a foot in the doo-doo, as I like to say, 1 foot in the woo-woo, 1 foot in the doo-doo. And yes, the people amongst us who are ready to get on with grounding the establishment of what the humans are referring to as the new Earth, but what I'm referring to as home. It's time. It's showtime, people.
Wonderful.
It's showtime. Come.
Come
and join
play,
us.
come play.
Yeah.
Let us know your awakening stories in the comments. If you feel called to share, please don't overshare, but share whatever you feel to. I love hearing stuff like that. And Goldie, we had a similar experience around the same time. My Unity Consciousness Awakening was in summer 2016. And that was where my whole life changed. I got this connection to this consciousness, and everything shifted. Activated my psychic gifts and abilities, started showing me visions of how I can heal people, and taking me to places I'd never been before, ecstatic dances, cacao ceremonies, all these different great things, and bringing me shamans and healers and all these magical people who just didn't even exist in my world before. I had no idea Reiki was even a thing. I had no idea that you could be a multidimensional anything. I was very fixed in the corporate world and did really well, like yourself. And I am eternally thankful for this awakening, because when I look at my life before, it's like a shell. It was so empty of real love and connection. I mean, I didn't even know how to connect. It was not even a thing. It was just alcohol fueled experiences with friends, and that's where most people on earth have been their whole lives. And so we invite you to come and be around other luminaries and be awakened and enlightened and activated. And one of the cool things with the Lumina Casa project, if you're feeling to come to the one in Thailand or any of the future ones, as well as being a place where we live and play together, there's also great workshops and activations and teachings and ceremonies and all the good stuff. So as well as being in paradise and being with the most incredible humans in the world, you also will get a lot of this good activation stuff. I do want to show the website for anyone who's interested. So I'll just share that here. So if you can see my screen, it says luminacasa.co, and you can come and you can click and see all the good stuff, all the different projects, and the Lumina Casa Copenhagen project. If you're interested in investing, and there's an investors pack, which tells you everything that you need to know. We are looking for the most incredibly aligned investors to come and support us to build these projects all over the world. I know one of my friends, they just got an investor who bought a £30 million hotel for them in London, and they're turning that into a conscious community. And how cool is this, that there are so many of us doing this similar work, because we feel it. And let me know in the chat if this is you. If growing up you missed community, maybe you were the odd one out, or the people who come to my events, Goldie, and I'm sure it's similar for yours, they're all so beautiful and shiny, and they just didn't really fit in their homes most of the time. They were very like the rainbows in this gray world. And I'm so happy and thankful I found my magical tribe and family now. And if you're interested as well, there's a video you can come and watch where Goldie explains everything. She actually said a lot of it here, so I won't play the video. You can come and watch that yourself. And it tells you all about the beautiful healing, education, everything that's there if you are feeling to come and join. So Goldie, 5 years time, 55 Lumina Casas birthed, and this network of beautiful, let's call them humans, but they might also be multidimensional. These beautiful beings who are all playing and working and living together. It's a wonderful vision, and I'm totally behind it. And that's just a part of the project. You did touch on something earlier I'd love for us to talk more about. And if you've never heard of this before, everyone just open your ears, open your hearts, open your minds. Because I know, and Goldie, I know you know, that the current systems on Earth that we have, the financial systems, the healthcare systems, the way that we live, the way that we eat, it doesn't support full abundance, joy, prosperity for most people. We call it the matrix or whatever you like. There's so many traps that keep people stuck. And a big part of what Goldie's all about, and I'm all about, is creating systems that actually help people to thrive on all levels. This is what we do with our q-rit courses. This is why we're building healing centers. This is why we're building communities where you can actually thrive, eat the best foods, nourish yourself in all the ways, financially thrive as well, like be around other people who are doing well in life, be around other people. I think you mentioned in your video, you call it people who've won the game of life.
Yes.
You know, because so many of our beautiful spiritual brothers and sisters, amazing creatives, are still struggling, and they don't have the right kind of education or the right mentors or the right guidance to support them. So, as well as being a beautiful place to live, Lumina Casa also has this incredible Web3 Luca token blockchain, which will be a different way that people can trade value, a different way that people can support themselves financially outside of and working alongside the fiat currency system while we're in this transition of going from where people are now to this beautiful unity consciousness world that we are all co-creating. Do you want to explain to people a little bit about what's different with Lumina Casa in terms of that Luca token and the Web3? Bearing in mind, some people have no idea what Web3 means. They might have no idea what a blockchain is, and other people might already be experts in cryptocurrencies.
Yes, Luke, what a great question. Thank you for sharing that one. Okay, so let's start with what is Web3, right? Basic thing. So Web2 is the current internet that we're now on. Yes, this system. So imagine 40 years ago, people thinking that you'd be able to type into a search bar a question and get the question answered. That was what? No, nobody would believe that. I remember in 2006 when my dear friend, beloved departed JP, came home and told me about Spotify, who then became one of my clients, that they were going to be putting all the music onto the computer and giving it away for free. And we were like, what? I mean, like, how does that work? That's just not possible. It seemed like a completely alien concept entirely that we were going to be able to access all of the music or most of the music that's ever been recorded on a computer and for free. No, that can't be right. Anyway, look what's happened now. Of course, Spotify have since monetized it, so it's a little bit more difficult to get it for free, but it's available out there. So in terms of the evolution of the technology which is available on Earth, what's happened in a very short space of time is actually nothing short of miraculous. Because we've been here while it's been happening, and we've been relatively young while it's been happening, so we've been able to adopt it quite easily into our everyday lives. It seems to be quite normal. But, for our grandparents who are in their 80s and 90s, it's still something extraordinary, Spotify or even just Google. So what Web3 is it's the next evolution of Web2, as the name would suggest, of the current internet that we're using. And what it does is the function is that it allows us to transact not just in money, but actually in fair value. Okay, so the concept is that what we are going to be able to do is to bring into alignment the awareness that money, fiat currency, money, is actually just a particular frequency of energy. Yeah. And it's not the only frequency of energy which has any value. Because what we've got, like Luke said, you know, some of our spiritual brothers and sisters, they're devotees, they're renunciates like me. They either have never had any fiat currency wealth or are giving it away like I did. Is their presence, is their contribution less valuable than somebody who has millions of pounds in the bank? Absolutely uncertain, absolutely and certainly not. No, in fact, my personal experience is that people who are coming from generational wealth don't have so much awareness, attention, and capacity for presence as those who have either renounced or are coming from devotion. Yeah. So what our organization is seeking to do is to bring everything onto a level playing field by realizing the true value of value. Yeah. And Web3 technology allows us to do that. So the Luca token, it means the bringer of the light. So if you remember, we have Lumina Casa, which means enlighten your home. And Luca token is the bringer of the light home, to enlighten the home. Because it's all very well us having all of these centers that we want to establish and communities that we want to grow. But my experience is that where a lot of intentional and conscious communities are really struggling is with financing. So our intention is that we're creating this Web3 infrastructure, which will support us in the emergence of our system by providing us with a way where we can easily finance ourselves. So people can come and join, and those people who've got financial wealth in the fiat currency system can contribute fiat currency. People who've got wealth in the knowledge and awareness sector can contribute their knowledge and awareness. People who've got networks can come and contribute their networks. People who've got real world building skills and have already established large real world builds can come and contribute their real world build knowledge. Yes, everybody's value will be able to be realized in alignment, in a clear, in a concise and transparent manner, and everybody can be rewarded in alignment with what they're actually contributing. So it's a really exciting way to be able to allow everyone who wants to join us, and everybody who needs to receive light on the knowledge, on the awareness, to receive light on the knowledge, on the awareness. Everybody who's got the light on the knowledge of the awareness can receive the finance and the backing and the real world networks they need to be able to materialize their knowledge and their awareness. And we can all love each other and support each other. Now, my knowing is that when we connect in conscious community, everyone in our community is completely unique and distinct and absolutely 100% themselves. There's only one version of them, right? Now, when we come together in community, we can experience true diversity in unity. Yeah, so we can experience our true selves, and we can contribute whatever we're supposed to contribute and receive whatever we're supposed to receive, which in community creates this exponential potential for the emergence of something extraordinary, like when we face each other, in tantric practice, and we interconnect our energy, we create this like convergence of this. It's a toroidal energy field, which when we interconnect with one other person, it becomes exponentially more. When we interconnect with an entire community system structure, wow, the potential for radical acceleration of excellence is literally limitless. It's absolutely limitless. So the Web3 technology that we have got in our organization, we've actually got some extraordinary technology and the blueprint for some even more extraordinary, extra-dimensional technology. I actually was at the Token 49 and another blockchain conference in Singapore and in Bangkok earlier this year. And I was at the Super Intelligence Summit as well in Bangkok, and I met some extraordinary people. And the thing that I've heard the most about from all of them is that the biggest problem we've got with Web3 technology so far is getting bums on seats. Yeah. So getting people to know about it, to understand about it, to cognize it, and to interact with it. So a big part of the Lumina Casa system is interested in inviting the open-hearted beings, inviting the tantrics, inviting the yogis, inviting the medicine beings to join us and to learn about Web3. What is it? What it can do for them, which is to allow them to literally interact with the 3D spectrum in a way which will mean they can afford to pay their rent, they can afford to buy their coffee, they can afford to be an artist, they can afford to be a musician, they can afford to enjoy their lives, not have to go to work and the 9 to grind 5 or whatever hours it is now, just to pay bills, right? We have a system within Lumina Casa, which is emerging, which one of our founders, 2 of our founders actually are co-creating, called Myriad Flow. And Myriad Flow is a company who are creating some next generation technology, Web3 technology. And what it allows you to do is to literally project your heart's purpose on the world and get paid for it. It's very basic at that level, but that's what it does. And it allows you to do it easily. Yeah. So our system will be utilizing Web3 technology to create ease for the artists, for the teachers, for the healers, for the transmitters of the light. For example, it will be easy for us to be able to record our teachings and trainings and broadcast it through our system. Web3 technology is also completely decentralized. So what that means is that, for example, if you post something on LinkedIn or on Facebook and they don't like it, they can take it down or they can deactivate your account altogether and you can lose all your followers. I think that might be something you're familiar with, Luke.
Yep, certainly did. 20,000 followers, just gone. Yeah.
Yeah, and I have a friend, she lost 80,000 in a day. They just literally took down her Instagram. They took down my Instagram for the Magical Love community. So, you know, it's okay. That's their prerogative. It's their system. They created it. Yeah. The thing about Web3 technology is that it's impossible for anybody to take it down because nobody individual owns it. It's owned by everybody who is part of it. Yeah. So if you join our system, you are also the owner of our system. There is no intellectual property rights. There is no privacy. Everything is transparent. Everything is clear and everything is owned by everyone. So just imagine if you come and join Lumina Casa now, you're coming not just as a participant or as a friend or whatever, you're actually coming and you're going to be a founder of the organization. You're going to be like literally a leader of the organization. You're going to be somebody who can make decisions and who is orchestrative of the entire situation, because that is the nature of Web3. Everybody is the boss. It's a leaderful system that is completely uncorruptible, and it's impossible for any one person to take it down, censor it, or stop it. So we'll never have to worry about who's going to get censored, who's going to get taken down, who's going to lose all of their followers ever again. We are creating a system which will completely eradicate the potential for that. And also will allow all of us to realize true value, fair value, clear value, and transparency. And all of these things literally pave the way for our true intention, right? Which is joy. The reason why I'm doing any of this, the reason why, as you so rightly said, I have put myself through 8-year and counting labor of this organization, because this organization has been being birthed for 8 years in one various incarnation or another. Or the bit where I had to go to beyond hell to ground the light codes, but that's another story for Tantaris days. It's because I want to facilitate the emergence of joy, or as the Honey Queen call it, soligrio. So if anybody knows about soligrio, it means only joy. Web3 technology is here to allow us to ground the frequency of soligrio, of joy, as its rightful location, as the baseline frequency of human emotion, right? So when you wake up in the morning and you feel a bit rubbish and you're like, oh, I'm tired. In soligrio frequency, you never feel like that. You wake up in the morning and you feel, oh, everything is fizzing, heart is open, joy is bubbling, joy is so exciting. And joy is the frequency from which we can create anything. And the Web3 system literally allows us the opportunity to create anything our heart can dream. So yeah, we've got some already blueprints in our organization. Our masters have been visioning this creation for a very, very long time. It's not a new thing. We've been doing this and working on this for a long time. And now it's time for us to actually materialize them and roll them out for the interaction with the humans and the lovely like 3D system, because we want to integrate this advanced awareness technology into the Earth plane, and so that the Earth systems can be made much more functional, much more useful, and much more enjoyable for all. Yeah, and that's across all verticals, everything from education to excuse me, to social, to food production, to housing. Across all of the verticals, our particular interests in the beginning are housing and education, which are two of our very, very favorites. Everybody needs somewhere to live and everybody needs some light on what it is they're really supposed to be doing. So yeah, but all the rest of the verticals are there also and are all supported by our technology and the emerging technology. So yeah, I'm so excited. I think you can see how excited I am. Yeah, it's finally happening. Yeah.
It's really interesting hearing you speak, Goldie. I'm just reflecting over my years. I've been doing quantum healing for 9 years now, so coming up to my decade helping people. And I help a lot of very spiritual people who are like Reiki masters, for example, but they have no idea what to do with tech. They really struggle, and it's like kept them small, or they're in survival mode, right? And they haven't found a way to monetize their gifts yet. And just hearing you speak there, I'm just thinking so many of these beautiful advanced healers and artists, musicians, creatives, and these beautiful people, probably like their magic is doing the creative arts. And then there's other people in the tribe who would then be the tech wizards. And I know you've got some tech wizards in your organization. And when you come to Lumina Casa, for example, you will be sat next to some tech genius who will be able to share their magic, and you'll be able to bring your magic, and everything will work so beautifully. Like Goldie mentioned, when you sit with someone in a tantric exchange, your energies come together to make something more. So when you are right with the right people, right, magic's going to happen. You're going to have quantum leaps in whatever it is. If you're in a business, you just one person can completely take you to the next level when you have the right connection. So I'm pumped to meet all of these beautiful people. And one of the things I do a lot is I call them the wise elders, right? So in a tribe, you'd have the wise elders. It's the people who've been around the block a few times, right? They've got the lived experience. And then maybe the younger people in the tribe, they might do more of the manual stuff, right? And the wise people bring more of the wisdom. And I often see these really wise elders who have so much to give, but they're like the world's best kept secret because they don't know how to get themselves out there yet. And I love that with Web3, we'll have a platform for you. We can get you out there. We can get your magic out to the world, and you just do what you're good at, and other people will plug in the parts that you're not. So if everything Goldie said there about technology sounds like another language, it will be great. I use AI almost every single day. I'm always searching for something in AI. It's so easy. And we'll make it as easy as possible for you. And I love how inclusive you mentioned it is as well. Like, if you're good at building, if you've got a trade, if you're a creative, if you have properties, if you like whatever your thing is that you can contribute, when we all work together, it's going to be so beautiful and creating heaven on earth, right? I love the idea, Goldie. Have you ever heard that you can be stood next to someone on the street and you can be in heaven in that moment, but they might be in hell, and you're right next to each other physically, locationally, but your internal world, they might be going through something really, really intense, and you might be in bliss and joy. And when you're around other people who embody bliss and joy and aliveness, so nice, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, yeah. A lot of people have never experienced joy or bliss, or we call bliss ananda. Ananda, it means bliss, yeah. But a lot of people mistake happiness for joy. Happiness is the experience that humans have created for themselves to feel better about life. but it's dependent on an extragenous or something external to our own system being present. So for example, Luke, if you buy me a cake and I eat the cake, maybe when I get the cake, I'm super excited. Thanks, Luke. It's amazing. Is it vegan? And then I eat the cake and it's delicious. And then I really enjoy it. And I'm like, yeah. And then I'm super happy. And then I'm like, oh, now my belly's full. And then I'm like, oh, my bum's too big. And then, oh, I'm sad now. Yeah. And this is the cycle of happiness. It's dependent on something extragenous or outside of ourselves coming to us to make us happy. It's a transient state which we can experience, which shifts us or coats us from one frequency to another. But what joy is, joy is like a loaf of bread. Yeah. It's like you get the mother, you get the starter, and then you get it inside you, and then it grows and it grows, and it's like champagne fizzing up inside of yourself, or non-alcoholic sparkling wine, the fizzing up inside of yourself, you know, and you feel expanding, but then it expands outside of yourself, and it doesn't overflow exactly, it just expands more. And the more joy you experience, the more joy you cultivate, the more joy you grow inside your own system, the more joy you can share with the world. And like, if somebody's in joy at a workshop or a training or like living in a residency, and then you come and you sit in their presence, you feel that joy, you can tune yourself to that joy. And what I do at my trainings is I attune myself to joy first, which is tantric practice, which I've been practicing for a long time. And then I invite other people to realize how to tune themselves to the joy I am emitting. Yes, it's a bit challenging to tune yourself to joy your own self, but if you're with somebody who knows how to do it already and they show you how to do it, it can actually be quite easy. So that's one of the things that we're going to be doing at Lumina Casa. And also to that end, for things like addiction, for example, addiction can be super difficult to get out of if you're on your own. But if you're in a community, a conscious community where we are free from addiction, it's super easy to get out of addiction. Yeah, addiction is a frequency. Yeah. So if you're experiencing addiction to something and you come and join us and you wish to exit that addiction, we will be able to show you how to easily exit that addiction with our support in community. It doesn't need to be hard when we're together, because we'll show you how to tune yourself to the frequency of freedom and the frequency of joy. And addiction does not exist in those places. So there's all kinds of like human dis-ease and ailments which can be easily remedied, rectified and renewed and regenerated when we come together in community. You know, we'll be presenting some extraordinary knowledge regarding next generation awareness, regenerative health practices, and biohacking, like practices for holistic longevity, so increasing our lifespan, but not just the lifespan, but the lifespan and the wellness and the joy of the lifespan. Yeah, actually going even into, for those of you who are really interested in such things, and some of you may think is nonsense, but the gates of immortality, when we realize that we are actually an energy system structure, and when we are in our flow, we are actually a flow system. So once we've cleansed our system, once we've cleansed our body, once we've like overwritten and removed any redundant mind programming which is running through our system, we can then practice the very esoteric practices of the tantra and the yoga to actually allow our bodies to realize their true nature of immortality. And that is the teachings of the light body, which we will be very interested in following and also practicing and also grounding together as we establish the community network and we have stabilized the frequency sufficiently to be able to allow ourselves to do this work safely. Because people going off and doing this renegade system, it's very dangerous, you know, like you basically end up dead if you're not too careful, like I've nearly done several times. So I've put
definitely beneficial when you have other grounded beings around you who can support you. When I've done my fasting retreats and stuff, and if you've got some people there who are really grounded in it, it's so much easier. It makes you feel safe and supported, and they've already been to where you want to go. So it's a nice thing to be around the people who've done that for sure. And yeah, I love this idea that we can be immortal beings that many people have. I was just looking at something recently, like people used to live hundreds and hundreds of years, and then in India, if you read any of the books, you know, you have Babaji, the immortal being, and you have all different amazing gurus out there who do things that we think is physically impossible, but you can go and study them and see it's not science fiction, it's science fact. So maybe you can come and live with some of those people in Lumina Casa and we can all uplift each other. Goldie, thank you so much for sharing everything today. I'm sure loads of people are interested. Comment below if you'd like more info. We can send you all the details. luminacasa.co for all the info pack, investment pack, everything. Goldie, over to you to share anything else you feel you'd love to share. If you want to maybe put a call out to what the kind of people you would love to be a part of this project, kind of people you would love to come and live there or invest there. Yeah, and any final closing thoughts from yourself? Over to you.
No, thank you. First of all, thank you, Luke. Thank you so much for this opportunity to be able to share and speak freely. And the kind of people that I would love to come and join us are people like you. Yes. So yeah, I mean, we're open to everybody who wants to join us. We're a radically inclusive organization, and my vision is that we are intending to make the knowledge of our system available to every person on the earth who's ready to receive it. Okay. Now, of course, to get to that point, to the point where we are able to actually pay for people to come even, you know, like if you're a farmer and you have to work to feed your children, and if you take a day off the field, they won't get fed. You can't afford to join us to know about the knowledge and to ground the light body. So in the future, my vision is that we can actually pay for people to join us. We can pay them to come like it's their job, you know. And we've got the blueprint for the creation of the systems that allow us to actually facilitate this emergence and actually will get us to that point. But what we need right now is the people with the grounded earth energy to actually support us to get there. So now we have got a lot of visionary dreamers already in our magical circle, in our founding circle. So we've got 9 projects which are all market ready. So they're ready to go to market, which are ready to be made and are all with the intention of making life on Earth better, more easy, enjoyable, and fantastic for everyone. And we need people who are going to assist us in establishing the physical manifestation of those projects. So I'm inviting investors, I'm inviting VCs, conscious VCs with some vision of what I'm talking about today on this call, because obviously if you're coming at it from a completely non-conscious or spiritual perspective, you'll probably just think I'm a crazy lady in a red and white spotty dress. But there are for sure conscious VCs out there. So if you're one of them, kindly hear the call. We'd love to meet you and to discuss the incredible returns which are available on our project, which are, of course, not only financial, they're also spiritual and emotional and all kinds of different things. And to the angel investors out there, we're ready to receive you. And we'd love to hear from you what you would like to receive in return. As you've shown already, we have got the investors packs available on the website. For the ones who are super busy, like the VCs, we know we've got you for like 30 seconds. So there's an overview. So you can check that and see if there's resonance. You should be able to tell if you want to invest in us or not pretty much straight away. Then there's more expanded information about it. And you can find that underneath the overview. And then there's an entire website, which is a treasure trove of information, knowledge, awareness. The white paper is there, the tokenomics paper is there, the essay behind the tokenomics, justifying the projection for the tokenomics is there. Then there's a lot of information about Lumina Casa Kopanjan this summer, which I'm super excited to welcome everyone who would like to join us. Unfortunately, we have extremely limited space. We are expecting that there will be a 33 circle of us, and we've got 25 spaces remaining. So the way that it's working for Lumina Casa Kopanjan is that we are inviting anyone to join us on the proviso that you're able to invest a minimum of £5,000 in the Lupa token. So for that, you'll receive £5,000 of Luca token at the friends and family pre-sale round rate, which is 10 pence per token. And you'll also receive benefits of being in the founding family, which are numerous because you'll become a founding member of our organization. And you'll also receive a personal invitation to join us as our guest at Lumina Casa Koh Phangan this summer from the 6th of May to the 11th of July for a 1 to 2 week stay of your choosing. And you will be able to bring whatever gifts you've got. So if you're an educator, you can share something. If you're a transmitter, you can share something. If you're coming to heal your body, you can receive healing. We're going to have a magical crew on hand for incredible massages. You know, we're in Thailand. It's the land of the massages. We're going to have incredible plant-based master chefs cooking us up some delicious, nutritious, health creating foods. We're going to go to ecstatic dances together. There's some incredible ecstatic dances here in Koh Phangan. I will be transmitting the emanation of the 35th gene key of boundlessness, which is apparently the back door to enlightenment, but actually it's the way that I got in. Luke's going to be sharing some extraordinary knowledge. I'm hoping he's going to do some sacred sexuality stuff, because we can definitely do with some juicy moments in joy together. And then Dr. Heike Bellick is going to be sharing the sacred and atomic geometry knowledge, which she has been realizing over the past 10 years with Colin Power. And she's going to be sharing some extraordinary, never before known on earth awareness about the geometric nature of the blueprint of our creation. And this knowledge is not available anywhere else on earth, let's be clear. There'll also be lots of other magical masters sharing awesome stuff, and you can come and you can be with us and you can live with us and you can be whoever you want to be. Yeah, that's the whole point. The point is for you to realize who you really want to be and be who you really want to be. Because when we perform our true purpose, we can live our lives in joy. So, yeah. And for those amongst you who are like, oh, I really want to join, but I don't have £5,000. I know the struggle is real. Unfortunately, at this point, until we establish the system, we have got to receive earth energy to create the system. So don't worry, we have got an answer for you. We have our online community, which is available through our Kajabi community. And every Tuesday for sure at 8 p.m. Thai time, which is, I think now 2 p.m. UK time, we'll be joining online for a session with me. I'll be joining every week. The session is free to join, and we'll be joining with some of the magical masters and co-creators of Lumina Casa online. You'll be able to join us and you'll be able to become part of our community. For now, it's entirely free. You don't need to pay anything at all. Just come along, learn about the system, learn about what we're doing. And then you can become an incredible connector, which basically means that you'll be able to share about our project with your friends and family. And then if they decide they would like to invest in our organization and they have got some money, then you will actually get paid. So for anybody who you refer to us who invests fiat currency in our organization, we're going to give you a 5% thank you gratitude payment. And you can choose to take it in Luca tokens or in actual fiat currency money. Yeah. So if you invite a friend or your dad to join and he invests £5,000, you're going to get £250. And even better, if that friend or family member doesn't want to come to Koh Phangan in the summer or can't come to Koh Phangan in the summer, they can invite you to go instead of them. So if you don't have any money, it's not the end of the world. You just need to give us your attention and your awareness on Tuesday. The next one is at the 15th of April, 8 p.m. Thai time, 2 p.m. UK time. And bring your best learning hat and make a list of 10 people who you know who've got £5,000 who might be interested to invest it, and come along and learn how you can share the project with them. Okay. Our intention is to be as radically inclusive as we possibly can do, whilst also ensuring that we are receiving the material wealth absolutely necessary for us to create this system. Yeah, the sooner we get the system created, the sooner we can literally invite every single person on the planet to come and join us. So yeah, I hope that was clear. There's a lot of information running through my system, and I really, anybody who's listened this long, gold star for you all, and I love you so much.
Gold star. Yeah, wonderful. Learning how to be an amazing connector is one of the best life skills I can share with any of you. Some people it's easier than others. Some people are just natural networkers, and you say, "Oh, you want a property? My friend has a property in Costa Rica. Like, do you know he's just looking for someone actually to come and move in there?" And you go, "Amazing connection, done." Or you go, "Actually, I was just sat on the train the other day with this person saying they're looking for some investments," and boom, you connect them, done. It's like a skill to switch on and open your ears and look around for people who have something that they're looking for and other people who can offer it. And then you usually get some kind of juicy commission in the middle of it, which can completely change your life, especially if you are looking for extra finances right now. So this is a big thing I have been doing for many, many years. Whenever my friend says, "Oh, I need a website," I go, "Ah, I know someone who can get you a great website," and I just connect them together. It's a very beautiful, easeful, and very abundant way to be, because when you help other people, it's always going to come back and help you. And this is a very beautiful part of this new, more evolved unity consciousness that we're creating, where we start to help and support each other more. Goldie, you're amazing. Thank you so
Thank you.
much.
I just have one more thing that I've got after you've said that. Yes, we're also inviting anybody who's got any retreat centers or big villas or like locations that might be perfect for us to put a Lumina Casa there. Okay. A big part of our income revenue stream is coming from our intention to receive properties that have perhaps fallen in the wayside a little bit. Maybe after COVID, you didn't quite get your people back. We've got our first development happening here in Koh Phangan. We've got an incredible, beautiful retreat center. It's so lovely. It's sea facing. It's gorgeous. And we're with vision that we're going to invite people who've got already established yoga centers, tantra centers, big hotels, these things. So we don't have to break ground to build Lumina Casas. I will not cut down a single tree. That is my oath. And we can actually renovate them, bring them back to their former glory. So if you're a retreat center owner, or if you've got a property that you think might be interesting for Lumina Casa, then we invite you to join us also. Please do get in touch. We would like to create a portfolio of properties that we are intending to purchase and renovate and turn into Lumina Casas through our system. And likewise, if you've got property or land that you would like to contribute to the community, of course, we're more than open to receive that also. And again, in exchange for that, of course, you will be invited to join us at Lumina Casa Koh Phangan this summer. And all of the benefits of becoming a founding member can be found on the website. So please do check that out. Get in there now and join us. Enjoy. Yeah.
So let us know your thoughts on building conscious communities. Is this something you've been thinking about for a while? Have you just been waiting for the right thing? Does this feel really exciting? We'd love to hear from you. Thank you all so much for listening. Thank you for being such superhumans, for being even able to receive this. Not everyone in the world can even listen to a conversation like this, so you must have done a lot of work to be able to be here and listen and enjoy this and go, "Yeah, I'm up for that." And give yourself a pat on the back wherever you are for being one of these humans on the leading edge of consciousness. This is what we do here at the Leading Edge Conversations podcast. Please do go check out all our other episodes, some of the most incredible humans on the planet. And if you can support Lumina Casa in any way, it would be so appreciated. Wishing you the most incredible next chapter of your life, wishing you the most beautiful community, and that you can also thrive on all levels. Take care.
Thank you for tuning in to this episode of the Leading Edge Conversations podcast. Make sure to check out our other episodes where we have incredible interviews with people truly living on the leading edge of consciousness.